Hey there, hello, it's me RGB from RGB TV, and we're gonna continue with the rabbit against Byul, but do note, I'm gonna have to try today to be a little bit silent. I wanted to do this cast, but it felt like it, but it's already pretty late, and some people need some quiet. So I'm gonna do my best to keep my speaking voice as low as I can, without really, trying to burst out into those little bit of a louder segments that I usually do, or sometimes tend to do. The score 4-2, 4 for Byul, 2 for Rabbit. Let's hop straight in to this Zerk against Protoss game number 7, with Byul again on the Zerk and Rabbit on the Protoss. This should be rather good. We've already seen these two players go at it really hard and producing really good games. Also, kind of fast games. Both players also did a lot of gambling, trying to build advantages here and there where they couldn't end up building advantages. They tried, but it doesn't always work, and that is what we saw happen a couple times. Usually in the favor of Byul, because Rabbit just plays way riskier than Byul usually does. Byul does go for a lot of aggression whenever he feels like he can go for some aggression. I mean, he's got great multitasking, he's got great micro, and in the case you've got those two combined, aggression is your best friend. As a Rabbit, a little bit less gifted in the micro department, pretty good at multitasking, but he's just generally considered to be a little bit slower than everyone else. And that also explains why he likes going for those riskier build orders, because he has to play smarter than his opponent and build advantages where his opponent isn't expecting them. And honestly, most of the time this really works out really well for Rabbit. He manages to build himself great advantages time and time again. But when it doesn't work, it really shows that he falls behind in the multitasking and micro parts of the game. And also his speed as well. But it also goes to show that speed isn't all that matters. Micro isn't all that matters. It's the complete overall package of your skill set that really determines how good you are as a player. So Rabbit is doing somewhat of an interesting build here. I haven't really seen it that much. Goes for Gateway Nexus Gas Cyber Core. This is really unique. And I've seen a lot of build orders, but I haven't seen this specifically. Now, one little fun detail I want to note is that Rabbit left a load of space in between his nexuses, because if the enemy goes for Zerkling cheese strategies, and you build your nexus right against this one, they can put their Zerklings right in between those two nexuses, and if you don't have cannons, you can't kill those Zerklings, so you're gonna lose your nexus. I've done it to people, someone has done it to me, and I've seen pros, like these very high level players, do it against each other as well. Which is why you see the small little gap right there. Also because he went for a late forge, he had to space it out like this. So sometimes it can be these small little details that can set apart and tell apart how much experience someone has in 1v1 fastest. Now, Byul didn't go for a choke. Already has 4 hatcheries finished up, one more there on the way, double gas now also being morphed in. Finds the probe, but the probe player stays alive, although it's very low HP. It's gonna go down at some point. You're gonna have to, it goes down. I was thinking maybe it's gonna survive, but it only had one more hit on it. It went down. So that's gonna pretty much slow down, or at least force Rabbit to change his plans. He either got slowed down, or he has to change. He was gonna build cannons right here and maybe a robotics facility to then push forward from this point into Byul's base, but now he has to adjust. And how is he going to adjust? So far we've seen level 1 attack and Zealot speed coming up for Rabbit. Kind of the standard approach when you see the enemy Zerk go for a non-choke. You kind of just have to mass up as a Protoss. You just mass up, get all of gateway units, get upgrades, get speed, and of course you need an observer, because if you don't have an observer, lurkers might ruin your party. But he goes in, gets on top of the drone, starts hitting the drones. Drone's taking some real damage right there. That is some real damage. That's nothing to scoff at. And that does kind of hurt Byul quite badly, but because he didn't go for a choke and because he already has 5 hatcheries finished up, he already had more drones than he would usually have at that point into the game, and now he has a lot of new drones popping out, coming up, and being put right back onto the minerals. The only downside is he's very low on gas. He could afford Hydralisk speed, but he couldn't afford the Hydralisks themselves, and now more Zealots are coming in to do the same thing again. Kill a couple of drones and harass and slow down Byul's plans. But honestly, there's also a downside to what Rabbit is doing here. He's throwing away his army supply, and his army will basically never be big enough to go for a real big-time attack. He'll just be big enough to go for these small attacks where he aims to harass and kill drones. But do keep in mind, I haven't shown this yet. Wait, one more attack. He comes in. Drone there stays alive, goes for another drone. Second drone does go down there though. He's getting a couple drones again. He's mostly trying to disrupt what Byul is up to, so he can buy time for his drop. And I honestly am not sure if going a drop here is the right choice. I've seen people go for drops in this situation before, and it didn't work out that well. But he's going for Templar Storms, I believe. He's got Templar's Archive finished up. He's got more Zealots are on the way. Level 1 attack very close to finishing up. Dragoon Ray is also on the way. He isn't really massing up on gateway units. I thought he was going to mass up on gateway units, but instead he's just using small amounts of gateway units to hurt drones. But Byul hasn't really been faced by it all that much. He is pretty big. He has read the cue that because Rabbit is throwing away units time and time again, he didn't need that many Sunkens. Byul is very aware of what's happening. Rabbit is throwing away units, which means he doesn't have an army. And now Byul is just using that to his advantage to take back a little bit of map control, move out, get information, and maybe even just start with mass Hydralisk production, or he is either going to progress his technology into a lair and get upgrades, get lurkers, get more hatcheries, get more drones, and become very rich. Because Rabbit is kind of doing two things at the same time. He went for a very fast drop technology, but he didn't go for the Storm drop, despite going for the fast Templar's Archive. But the fast Templar's Archive slowed down his double Reavers. So I'm not quite sure I agree with his choice of optimization and build order, because now we're seeing that the game is kind of even. Byul has control over the map, Rabbit is stuck in his base massing up, but he doesn't have a big significant mass or army. He can't quite go in for the attack and push Byul away. He does have a lot of Zealots of one attack, which is an advantage in itself, but the Reavers, they're coming in. But the downside I was going to mention that's going to happen now is that the moment Rabbit arrives in Byul's base, Byul will have a whole lot more Hydralisks or Sunkens or whatever he wants finished up to try and defend. And he kills the shuttle, kills the Reavers as well. I shouldn't have scooted over to his base to look at it. I thought he was going to disengage the fight, but he went right back into the fight. And as I said, Rabbit does have a lot of Zealots and Reavers. In the end, the fight is kind of even. Rabbit does win it, but 2 against 3 Zealots, it's not that big of a deal. It's not nothing significant. Just look at Byul's base, 53 drones. It's got 5 hatches on the top side, another 5 there on the side and bottom side. Evo chamber there. He's got Spire on the way. He's got lurkers. Lurker aspect morphing. He's getting level 1 weapon attack there for the Hydralisks. Byul is in a very healthy state, and honestly, this is all on Rabbit deciding to go for the Reaver shuttle strategy alongside Zealots, even though what he had to do was honestly just go for Templars and Gateway Army. And that would have done the trick, in my opinion. So kind of by Rabbit's own choice of build order, and Byul's handling of it, he just handled it really well. Never took damage that would slow him down too much. He took small amounts of little damage to his drones, but the damage wasn't big because he already had a lot of hatcheries. So Byul never actually suffered or fell behind. I mean, the supply difference is huge though. Supply difference is huge, but a lot of Rabbit's supply is still stuck in those gateways. It's still being warped in. It's not there yet. He's going for the attack though. He wants to go for it. And I think he's hitting Byul at a pretty good timing, with Byul has Scorches to take down the shuttle that's trying to go for a drop there on the backside. He has to load the Templars here. He storms on the Hydras, but Byul dodges the storms really well. Does lose a couple of Hydras to the storms though. Zealots are breaking through, but now the Zealots are stuck in a surround with Sunkets in the front and Hydras on the side, and the storms have all been used. Storms in the backside there though. He dodges the storm and missed the drop, and also missed the storm, but there comes another one, another soldier coming in hot, arrives on the scene, he's gonna unload something, Templar unloads. Drones are... That was close. That was very close. I was almost at a loss of words how close that was. I felt my heart sink into my stomach, sink into my chest. That, oh, this game might just be over. But no. Byul dodges the storm. Rabbit does do a lot of damage in the front, kills a lot of Hydras, kills a lot of Sunkens, but also loses his entire army, which he now has to first rebuild, while Byul is also busy rebuilding himself. Now, if the storm dogs had hit, the game would have been over. Byul would have been too low on economy, too low on money, without an army. But because he keeps those drones alive, his money is still flowing into his bank, he's completely healthy, his supply is still a little bit low, but it's still good enough. There's no observer on the map at the moment so far for Rabbit. That's a little bit of an oversight, he should have had observers already. Now, Byul goes in for a little bit of a sneak attack, gonna try to snipe some units, kill some Templars, kill whatever he can. He wants to go for the Nexus there in the backside, but instead he finds himself some Templars to kill, and a Shuttle to kill, and maybe even 2 Reavers to kill. And he's going to shut down the drop options that Rabbit has at the moment. But Rabbit goes in for a frontal attack, but as I said, he doesn't have an observer, so he runs into those lurkers. He's going to try to run around the lurkers instead of running straight into them, sending his units into the corner, and then attacking from the corner where the lurkers are not located. But there is in fact one lurker there, and the other lurkers in the front are now moving to the side to cover the side, and Rabbit is going to get shut out of Byul's base, or he's going to lose his army without getting much result. He's moving in a little bit deeper though, but he is just going to lose his army, and Rabbit again makes a choice, or has an oversight, that ends up costing him a lot of time, and is buying Byul a lot of time. Or maybe Byul just handled this really well. The move with the Mulelisk was just really well timed. Goes in, hunts down some units, kills some units, and buys himself time by shutting down the drops and keeping his economy secure, which of course also gives him time to start producing units and structures and get upgrades as well. Now another drop there over this, he finds the observers, the overlords are on the side, coming in really handy. Rabbit there moves into the corner, goes from a corner attack and goes for the frontal attack, but there's no observers because the observers went down to the Scorches. Really well played there from Byul. Very aware to immediately notice the observers coming from Rabbit's base, sending the Scorches over to take him down, and protecting space with ease, with actual ease. Rabbit now hasn't built a lot of buildings here back at home for quite a while. He's mostly building units, trying to get an advantage over Byul. He's just focusing on attacking, not on building. He's focusing on attacking, and it honestly isn't working out that well. He's forcing Byul to spend his money. Drop comes in though. Drop gets spotted out. Drones are running away. Templar has pretty much nothing of significance to storm, and he's going to fly right out of there. But the mule is going to take down the shuttle. Maybe there was still a Templar in there, but what matters is Rabbit again doesn't manage to achieve anything. The only thing that both players are achieving is killing each other's units in somewhat of a stalemate situation. Rabbit is just not able to move Byul further into the corner. Wave coming in, still missing observers though. It's so difficult to get those observers on the scene when there's overlords and scourges there to take them down. It's very difficult to do, so 2 drops once again flying across the map. Byul can see them, so takes one down with Scorches, takes the other down with the Mulisks, and once again, Rabbit not allowed to land a Storm Drop. He's gotten in there into the backside a couple of times, but so far, nothing has managed to kill drones, and that is huge. If you can avoid losing drones as a Zerg, you're gonna have great time. And that's what we're seeing. His upgrades are awesome though. 2 armor, 2 attack, only 14 minutes in, that's huge. Kills another observer there on the bottom side once again. Rabbit has more observers there though, he's got more observers. Overlord spots them out though. Observers have observer vision range, so they can hang a little bit further into the backside there. Now mutants are coming in once again. It's time to kill the observers. Kills one. No, Yes, kills 1, kills 2, and now number 3 also going down, and once again shuts Brain, or well, Rabbit out of space. Byul just playing this really well. Another wave of units coming in without observer support, so it's just going to be some Dragoons that are going to be hammering on Mulisks and Sunkens to try and gain some ground. The Lurkers are also pretty far away from the front, so not really assisting too much. Hydra's coming from the back to the front, ready to take stuff down, and he has 1-2 on his Hydra. His upgrades are in a really healthy, good spot. Both players are on track with their upgrades. Rabbit still hasn't built anything at all, except a couple of robots here in the front, which he's using for Reaver and Observer production. Because if those Reavers have to, the Observers have to fly across the map every single time through Overlords, it's very easy for Byul to take them down with Scorches. Now it's a bit harder because they spawn right here in the protection of cannons and have a very short little distance to cover before they reach the choke and start pushing on Byul. Now Byul is still on 10 hatchery, but he's handling himself really well, and Rabbit is just not making progress. Dragoon there on the side to kill Overlords to deny side vision for Byul. Reaver goes down, Dragoons are coming in. He's soon to be on level... Oh, sorry for that one. Touchpad. My touchpad is just annoying. Here comes in. Dragoon's there, pushing forward. Observers in the air. Drops should be coming in very soon, but I'm not seeing them on the minimap at the moment. Lurkers there behind the Sunkens. Once again, pushes the Dragoons back. The Dragoons killed a couple of Sunkens, but didn't gain much ground. Now finally we have a greater Spire on the way there for Byul, who's in 75 drones against Rabbit's 78. Both players have about similar APMs. And honestly, he just isn't building anything at all. He's got about 12, 17 gateways, 5 robos. He's building on the middle now, though. 2 more robos on the middle for a 5 total. Also setting up a skeleton of pylons to build gateways on. So he's not going to build at home. He's going to start building on the middle of the map to reduce the distance to Byul's base and be able to just spam out 50 Dragoons at a time from 50 gateways. At least that's what a lot of players tend to do. They just build a lot of stuff on the middle. So once again, an army comes in. Rabbit loses an observer again. Still has 2 of them here in the choke though. Picks up a drop. He wants to fly in and attack at the same time. It's a little bit harder to spot out when the shuttle comes in while you're getting attacked. But Guardians are there in the air in the backside. Comes in, hangs it on top of the Sunkens, a little bit further away than Dragoons can handle, and goes for the attack. Now he sees the shuttle there on the side though, with the Overlord, so he's going to snipe that out of the air, protect his drones. One goes down, the other one is empty, I believe. There's something in there. Tries to go in from a different angle, but Mulists are on the hunt, unloads the Templars, swarms on the Guardians instead. Great Micro there takes down the shuttle, takes down the Templars as well. Dragoons are pushing forward, but not having much success. The Guardians aren't having much success either, but the Mutas there are doing a great job taking down the Mutas. They're taking down the Reavers. Mutas taking down the Mutas? That makes no sense at all. Yeah, so both players are stuck in this portion. Small little bits of ground are gained for Rabbit every single time he goes in. But Byul is rich, maxed out, getting upgrades, getting technology. He is fine as hell. And there's nothing Rabbit at the moment seems to be able to do about it. But I don't think he's going to give up. He's finally building a tiny little bit there on the middle, and he's looking for this corner to attack from, where there are fewer Sunkens, but this also spreads out his units and gives Byul a great opportunity to just go for the flank attack on that army and take everything down. Storms everywhere though, storms everywhere, takes down about 20 Hydras or Guardians combined. Great storm use, but in the end, not good enough, because he's just going to produce new army and kill everything, push Rabbit out of his base, and stabilize his choke. At least that's the plan. To stabilize his base and give himself some breathing room and move into the middle of the map, go for the attack, and he's doing that, he's going for the attack. Is he going to break through? That's the big question. Is he going to break through? We've got Cannons, Reavers, Templars, Dragoons combined. A great force to fight it with against this army from Byul coming through this very narrow pathway. The Templars are doing a great job, and now we've got Guardians coming from every single direction. It looks like Byul is going to break out, unless the storms are just going to completely destroy all the Guardians. Let's zoom out a little bit and see how those Guardians are going to take everything down. Guardians are pretty good upgrades. Last time I saw, they were on 1... Okay, that's pretty bad. 1-0 is not great. I thought I saw them on 1-1 or 1-2 already, but it's 1-0. But they still do the trick. They still break everything here on the middle. While Rabbit now has to build Mass Dragoons from back home. Start starports on the middle. Stargates on the middle. Stargates, not starport. It's a Terran building. It comes in, pushes through. Reinforcements from Byul are a little bit slow. On entering the middle. That's the one thing with Byul though. Oh, drop comes in. Is the one gonna hit? Arrives there. Is there something in there? They're empty. The one time Rabbit makes his way into Byul's base with a storm drop, or well, with shuttles, the shuttles are in fact empty. A little bit of a bummer. Also, Byul didn't continue with the attacks into the middle, so it looks like Rabbit managed to secure the mid base, the mid proxy gateways and stargates and starports and robotics and cannons. He secured them all, has control back over the middle. And even though Byul fought so hard to get control, he just wasn't fast enough with reproducing his army to keep sending out waves and waves of units into the middle. Or maybe he doesn't have enough hatcheries for it. It's also a possibility. Now Guardians are morphing in the back, Dragoons are pushing through the front. There's no observer once again, so Reavers or Lurkers on the side there is doing an absolutely amazing job taking down units. So look how many kills they got. 6, 8, 9, 3. Those Lurkers are doing so much work in keeping Byul safe from harm. A couple more hatcheries around the corner. It's at about 14 now. Still not a very high number, but I think 14 is about high enough. Because what matters most is technology diversity. Not per se how many units he has, but how he's using them and what the combination of units is. That's much more important than the amount. Although of course amounts also do matter here, as you can see that those 24 Guardians are just breaking through from atop the hills, getting a great spread, great surround on those Dragoons in a very narrow pathway. Narrow pathways are just amazing for those floating Guardians that can spread out and attack from multiple directions. Just get great coverage of this entire area. Once again, going to try to break through. There's a lot of Templars and Dragoons, and I think Rabbit should be able to save this one, as there's no reinforcements coming from the base to break out, although there they are, but a little bit late once again. The Guardians move back a little bit onto the hills to make it harder for the Dragoons to fight against them. Hyda's coming from the front. Reavers walk himself to death. There comes the storm, and he hits the storm. It miraculously kills about 50 drones, maybe 40 drones. I think it was on 75 or 72. There's a lot of drones dead and gone. Right at the exact moment that Byul was breaking into the middle. But now he doesn't have the money. He just keeps shitting out Hydas and Guardians. It's gonna take a short little time frame here for Byul to recover his economy, get it back in shape, get it back up and running to where he wants it to be. He's sending out the last couple of Hydas he had in his base into the middle to at least keep pushing forward. The Rabbit though has plans of his own. Dragoons are entering the middle, ready to push back against Byul's forward momentum here. He wants to stop Byul's forward momentum, but Byul already back on 66 drones, looking pretty healthy, although 66 is not quite 75. He's a little bit short on where he wants to be. Corsairs hunting for Overlords, Corsairs hunting for Guardians, and Dragoons hunting for Hydralisks. It looks like Rabbit managed to at least secure the Stargates in the middle, and Rabbit now also building new robos here back at home. He's building 8 of them at a time. That's a lot of robos. Not sure what he's up to, but there's a lot of options with robos. Reaver drops, Reaver pushes, a lot of things he can do with those robos. And I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do specifically. Observers and Corsairs getting taken down, Guardians taking down the cannons here on the side that are meant to contain Byul and deny vision from the sides. Fight still happening on the middle. As you can see, Byul has his economy back and operational, but he got slowed down. Unable to max out continuously over the last minute or so has basically saved the game for Rabbit. The one storm that we managed to hit, it landed at the most important time in the game. When Byul was breaking into the middle and getting control over the map, Rabbit managed to get it back. that one storm drop. Once again, storm drops are still being flown across the map. Dragoons are being sent into the middle, but there's so many Zerglings and Hydras, a little bit difficult to fight into. Zealots though, Zealots in the front though are tanking like bosses. I really like the tanking done by the Zealots. The drop comes in. Where's the drop going to go? We fly straight into Scorches though. The shuttles are not dying. Shuttles are unloading. Temple's on the scene. Temple's going to storm. Temple hits nothing. Temple number 2 though hits a pretty big shot there. Oh, we've got more storms in the back, and he kills another 40 once again. Kills 45. It's 40. Basically just killed everything he could. That was a really big hit. And now Byul is actually in a pretty tight corner. He's got Guardians though. He's got the army. He's got enough army to stay alive. And Rabbit, at the moment, actually still has most of his army back at home or inside gateways. So even though he managed to land a really strong big shuttle drop, kills another one just in time. Even though Rabbit managed to land a great shuttle storm drop, he doesn't have the follow-up. He doesn't have the follow-up to immediately use the advantage built for himself, although Byul on 48 drones. He's pretty damn broke. He's pretty poor. And Rabbit is still here. Ooh, great plague. That plague is great. That's going to result in a little bit less units lost for Byul. Less units lost, always better than losing more of them. Particularly when you're in the process of recovering your economy. He's building 20 drones right now. There's a lot of drones. He's going to be on 76. Might use a couple of them for Sunkens or hatcheries though. But his economy is going to be fine and dandy very soon. So Rabbit now rebuilding cannons on the middle. He wants to at least have this point of control right in front of the pathway. It's going to at least buy him time whenever Byul breaks free. Because Byul first has to kill everything here in the middle before he's actually broken out of his own base. But one little overlord there spots out the shuttles. Hydras are also there on the scene. We'll spot out the shuttles, and he's maybe going to try to snipe those shuttles out of the air. Combat attack happening, an attack from the side. Scorches there in the air. He dodges the Scorches. Maybe this one has its Reaver, but Reavers are too far away from the drones. Doesn't actually kill any drones. Kills a couple of Hydras. Very quick response there from Byul, pulling his drones to the side, keeping his drones mostly alive. Moves on the side now, finally killing the Overlords, but I feel Byul is just going to send out a couple new ones to the sides to at least get some vision back there. Because the vision on the sides has really helped him out so far in this game. So Byul has really slowed down. His money is low, his funds are low, but his lifestyle is high. He needs some dough. Is he going to find it though? That's the big question. Is he going to find the dough that he needs here to stay alive? He's got an army, he's got lurkers, he's got filers, he's got Sunkens and Guardians, Hydras as well. He should have enough to stay alive, to stay afloat. But Rabbit is planning on at least killing a lot of those units that I just mentioned. He wants to kill Byul. He's coming in hot. Guardians trying to dodge storms, but Guardians are slow. The storming them is not that difficult. He storms left and right, front and back side, and hits most of the Guardians. More Guardians from the back to the front to at least kill what's here. But more units are on the way. Reavers as well. He keeps on pushing, but now we've got Zerglings, and Dragoons don't like Zerglings, and the Reavers don't like Guardians coming from the side. The Guardians that stayed alive there from the storms, now coming from the side to kill the Reavers inside that choke wall, inside that pathway. Master Dragoon, once again, leaving the base, coming across the map. Rabbit's gas seems to be a little bit low, though. I'm not sure why it's low, because he's mining from about 8 or 10 gas back at home. So Byul got slowed down, but he's now right back in town here, riding hot with the Filers and the Zerglings, ready to take this all down. Plagues on the Dragoons. Dragoons don't like that, and they're going to go down very soon. Reavers in the backside, they're ready to provide support for the Guardians in the air. But, oh, a pair of storms takes them out really quick. This is basically just a very long back and forth between these two players who are kind of, I'd say, at the moment, evenly matched. Evenly matched. This, so far, has been quite an exciting game. Where, honestly, it looks like either player just isn't big enough to instantly max out their army whenever they build a small little advantage, and the opponent is just able to always recover from the advantage that they just gave to their opponent. Rabbit though, got some shuttles coming in, flies into Scourges there, Scourges hitting everything except the last one. Templar arrives, Templar unloads, Templar is too far away, gets taken down by the lurkers, won't stay alive. Now Guardians there right very close-knit in small little groups, splits them up. Doesn't want to get stormed by one storm, he wants at least 2 storms to kill his Guardians. So Reaper's there on the backside protecting Dragoons. Dragoons protecting the Templars, and Templars protecting the Dragoons. We've got a circle of suck for these units. Every single one of these units has a job that is protecting each other and killing enemy units. Reavers though, crawling to their deaths, Storms there on the Guardian on the side, Reavers coming in from behind, Dragoons also pushing forward, hit a little bit by little bit. Storms coming down left and right, front and backside. I've said that before, but it just sounds really nice. And it looks like there's too many units coming from the backside to the front side. Guardians in the air just gonna tear through everything. I really think that Rabbit's lack of gateway, he's got 17, is quite a small number for a fastest map. He's got 17 gateways, and he just isn't remaxing fast enough to always have units inside of Byul's base to reinforce the units that are already there. The stream of units is just very inconsistent. Although, he is always producing. He's always producing, but he's just never overpowering Byul. Byul is always staying strong, staying upright, though his minerals seem quite low, even though he's got 76 drones in total, about 45 on the gas, on the minerals. It's a lot of drones on the minerals. It looks like Rabbit is actually overpowering Byul right now, but Guardian's coming in to save the day, but the Dark Swarm there is honestly just helping Rabbit. Oh yeah, the Dark Swarm there is terrible. That Dark Swarm is absolutely terrible. It actually saves the Reavers and gives Rabbit the small little, basically a spot where he is unkillable. The Showa goes down there though. Rabbit just finds ways of flying straight into those Scourges every single time, and Byul isn't even trying. He just places them randomly and the shuttles fly straight to the deaths. And now you've got the pushback. The Dark Swarm ended. The little foothold of protection Rabbit had inside of Byul's base got taken down. But the Guardians are reversing the game, moving into the middle, killing what they can. They're going kind of in a straight line for Rabbit's choke point instead of killing this here on the middle. Instead of killing this here on the middle, he's going for the supply route. Storms though kill the Guardians. Guardians just suck against Storms. We've seen Byul throw like 100 Guardians into Storms so far, and they just can't dodge the Storms. They're just too slow. It's just too hard to do. But now we've got Hydra's coming to the front door, Reaver's there to protect though, and we've got reinforcements from the bottom side ready to support and save this cannon wall. Reaver's getting target fired, getting taken down. Byul is progressing. Byul is progressing slowly, little bits by little bits. But he can't remax fast enough because he doesn't have enough hatchets. He's got a lot of them though. But I'm really noticing that he just doesn't have enough production. Shuttle's coming in. One shuttle stays alive. Shuttle dodges the Scourge, stays alive, unloads the Reavers. Reavers crawling forward. Reavers crawling towards the drones. Drones are not running away. Drones are running away though, but one Scarab launches, one Scarab kills, and it kills 2. A little bit of that didn't turn out that bad. That went pretty good. Went pretty well for Byul. Rabbit was almost there, but Byul saves the drones once again. So forced to pull back. No observers. Workers on the scene. Gets us around. Oh, Storm there tries to save the day. Scourge is flying back and forth to go for the Corsairs. Corsairs being hella annoying. Corsairs kill a lot of Corsairs got killed there. A lot of Corsairs got killed there. Rebuilding the cannons in the front. Byul once again with Guardian, Hydra, Zergling, ready to push Rabbit out of his base. They just keep on coming, and just keep on coming. Never stop coming. Shuttle's coming in. Shuttle's gonna intercept it. One shuttle makes its way in. I think there's a Templar in there. Storms hits the wrong pile of drones there though, so only 5 of them go down, but it's 73 left alive for Byul. Once again, a push into the middle with the Guardians. I need a drink. I really need a drink. I've just been talking shit for the last 34 minutes, and I haven't had a drink yet. Okay. Let's see. More cannons coming up on the side. Rabbit wants to get control back to the map. Still only on 17 gateways, but it's working so far, though. It's kind of a stalemate. It's a push forward and a push back. A push forward and a push back. It's like ebb and flow. Both players pulling on the ropes, trying to get the other person to give in. So far, after 35 minutes, neither player has given in pretty much at all. We've seen a little bit of push forward and a push back. We haven't seen either player definitively gain decisive control over the game. And both players have tried, time and time again, to get control. Now we've got a very big army from Rabbit here pushing forward. Horse is on the side ready to push overlords away. He's staying out of lurker range. He wants to get those storms and he wants to get those Reaver Scarabs on the lurkers before he pushes forward. Doesn't have an observer though. Guardians coming in, storms on everything, corners are on the side. Got and no observers again, no observers, and the surround from Byul there once again cleans out this army from Rabbit. The Byul's ability to find those observers and keep killing them, and basically have Rabbit unable to push forward and progress because those lurkers are being hella annoying. Byul is just succeeding in defending really well. Byul is also not succeeding in actually breaking out beyond this point in the middle here. He's gotten close, but never close enough. Now, Byul has a lot of units inside of his overlords, and Rabbit is putting to the front. And I've seen situations where a person putting all their units inside overlords loses the front because they've got too many units in overlords and not at home defending. Or maybe I'm wrong. So a couple of Guardians that were here on the side were being annoying, but not annoying enough because Rabbit just kills them. And he's checking the side because one more Guardian there on the side, and this Guardian is more Guardians joining the side there to kill those cannons. For some reason, Rabbit's army always feels small, but that is because Rabbit keeps attacking without half his army basically still here at home, either in production or just sitting here. That's why Rabbit's army always feels a little bit slow. But this time around, he's got 10 Reavers, 2 Templars, 2 Observers, a lot of Dragoons, ready to go, ready to start a fight. Overlords flying across the map. This is what I meant. He's got some units inside them Overlords. I see Lurkers, Hydralisks, Defilers. I see a lot of units that can cause a lot of trouble for Rabbit, who doesn't have a lot of main defense. But while that is happening though, there's a small chance that Rabbit is going to break through and kill Byul, because I think that's about 30 supply of Byul that's flying across the map inside those overlords, and we've got this very strong army now breaking through. This is basically, at this time in the game, a really big gamble. Can Byul end the game with the drop, or is Rabbit going to end the game before the drop actually ends Rabbit? This is looking really scary. This is a really significantly strong fighting force. I also don't see any Templars in the backside. I don't see any units in the backside. But this is basically the moment when we trade bases. Rabbit is definitively going to push forward here. He's never ever going to lose this push. But at the same time, he's never ever going to defend against this drop. Drop comes in. There's pretty much no units. He lands in the base. There's a Dark Swarm, there's the Lurkers. There's time to kill anything and everything he can. Zealots, Lurkers, Hydralisks, they're inside the base. Gets a Plague on the Nexus as well. He missed, yeah, he got the Nexus Plague as well. At the same time, while Rabbit is losing his base, Byul is also losing his base. The Guardians, though, might save the day, because they only see 6 Dragoons and a couple Templars. They do have Storms, but the Reavers are dying. Reavers are crawling forward, but Byul lost about 5 hatcheries while he's killing Rabbit here back at home, although the Nexus is still alive, and most of the probes are also still alive. Which... oh, Guardians in the air, though. Storm's coming down. Can he kill most of them, or can he not kill most of them? Ooh, he kills most of the Guardians, but you're back at home. Rabbit doesn't have anything to fight back, and he doesn't have observers. And he's slowly running out of money, while also very slowly losing his Nexus. Comes again with the push though, comes again with the push, more Guardians in the back. Only has 9 hatcheries at the moment though. Will those 9 hatcheries be enough? It's a very slow stream of units coming from Rabbit. Back at home, still no goddamn observer. He's got observers though, but he's... oh no, that Dark Swarm is terrible for Rabbit. I think that's game. Being able to get that last Dark Swarm out kind of sealed the deal. Rabbit is out of money, lost a lot of probes, and Byul is rich, has production, and Rabbit loses game number 7 after 41 minutes of back and forth, and one big mistake from Rabbit. Well, a lot of observer-related mistakes from Rabbit. End up winning Byul the game. He just played this one brilliantly. Rabbit tried so hard to push forward, but Byul always managed to keep him out of the base. So that's game number 7. I'm gonna update the score. 5 wins for Byul, and only 2 wins for Rabbit, who lost a Zerg, a Protoss against Zerg, which is pretty significant. Well, that is pretty significant, pretty big. Anyway, that's it for today. This RGB from RGB TV here. And I'm going to continue this set in the next video. There's still more games to be watched together. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. And I hope to see you return next time when I bring you more Rabbit against Byul on fastest map on StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Have a good day. Have a good day.